Hey, James has been working diligently on this, by the way. We had a little trouble, and we're
Okay.
hoping everything is coordinated.
It's just been all kinds
All kinds of little problems, little technical problems.
of. Okay, we got that fixed. Now, I think we're good.
Okay. Most of our bracelets are about 8 inches long, and we do make a few longer and a few shorter because people have a different size wrist. This Aqua one is almost exactly 8 inches long. Now, that is what I call the chain style.
Okay.
The other style that we make is called a toggle style. I'm going to scoot these over. I put the ruler there so you can see how long they are. I'll move that out of the way. And the toggle style has the dangling crucifix and the dangling miraculous medal. But it has a toggle connection, which is like a bar and a hoop. And the bar slides through the hoop.
Okay.
Like so. Hoping you can see this. Let me know, James. Are we good?
Yeah, we're good. Alright.
Okay.
Go ahead and arrange them.
Okay. The toggle goes through the hoop. So this one's made differently. The structure is with a product called Beadalon. Beadalon is a wire. It's a flexible wire. And I have a special tool I use to cut the wire, and I use crimp beads. Crimp beads go on the end to secure it. The crimp beads, I'll show you how I put those on as soon as I get my video back.
Okay.
But this is a different concept than making a rosary out of pins. It's not harder, it's just different. We use seed beads. And the seed beads are really tiny little glass beads, and they have a hole big enough for the beadalon to go through. And they're basically spacers between the rosary beads. Rosary beads, I usually use 8mm, and we're going to make an aqua one tonight. And probably, if time allows, we'll make one of each.
Okay, I think we're
Okay.
kind of waiting on everyone to kind of get on the stream.
Okay.
But go ahead and talk, I guess,
Okay.
while we're waiting.
So I'm going to start with the traditional chain style. I can't see what I'm...
Oh, alright.
James is fixing my video for me.
Okay, it's up.
Oh, yes, that's much better. Okay. Now, the first thing we're going to do... Let me scoot this over a little bit so y'all can see. is we're going to do 10 Hail Marys. So just like we made the rosary, we're going to bend our pin over and back and make our little question mark shape. Put a pin on. And add another bead until we get a chain of 10. Yeah, put that light on. Maybe that might help some. Well, it's pretty bright.
Too much.
A little too much. Gonna do 10. And I like the lobster claw clasp. It seems to be a favorite for the ladies to use because it's of the shape. And we use these little miraculous metals for our Mary. How is that? Is that too bright?
No, it's much better.
Okay.
That's just about perfect. Yeah.
Can you switch cameras, James?
Yes.
So they can see it better that way.
Which
Where got to turn the camera. Hold on.
is that what you want?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just- you're
Pull
gonna have
this
to put
this
it on.
way. Hold on. We'll get it over there directly. Now.
Okay. Well,
Keep going.
yeah, no, it's fine. It's just, yeah. You can go ahead and tell my lady to go to the, just over here on my phone. Make sure it looks like me.
What should you search?
No,
Okay.
search.
2, 4, 6, 8.
For gas.
No, it's not together.
This will be number 9.
Or what, you should just go to YouTube and search.
No, she can't search on YouTube. She just put it in this. Search it up, it's fine.
It got pretty hot today. Looked at the thermometer. It's a 99.
It's up to you.
We had been enjoying some really nice weather, so this is quite a change. But not uncommon for our area. I was just a little surprised that it got up to 99. They said it was going to be 95. Okay, now that is 10. I think. 2, 4, 6, 8. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I went too far. That's what happens when I'm talking. All right, I'll take you off. Now, we got 10. And the next thing we need to do is connect this little, well, let's see, let me turn it this way. We're going to make a connection. And this is where the little metal will, hold it up. The little metal is on a piece of chain, but it's dangling there. It's connected to a piece of wire, and then the wire is secured to the little crucifix. So we want it to not get lost or come off. So what I did before we started, I put these little rings. They look like key rings, but I put them on each one of these little metals, like that. Now last night when we were making rosaries, I showed you how I used the wire, and I made a knot when I connected to the centers. Well, we're going to do that for this bracelet too. And we're going to bend it back, and then we're going to cut some off. And then we're going to put our Mary on, like that. And we're going to put some chain on. And we don't need a whole lot of chain. We just need a little bit. Let's see how many links we have here. Well, about 3. So we're gonna cut 3 links off of my roll of chain. 1, 2, 3. So we cut number 4. And it's going to go down there where the hoop is on my piece of wire. Now I'm going to close it. It's closed. And then I'm going to make another end over here. A little hoop. And that's where we're going to put our cross. So we're going to slide the cross on like so. We got, that's going to be the end of the bracelet. So I'm going to hold this down, and I'm going to secure it by going around and around. Now I'm going to cut it. And now I got to clamp it down so it doesn't poke up and get somebody's wrist. Secure it down. And now that little piece of chain that we had cut earlier, is right there. It's really a really little piece of chain. Hang on to it. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the last, trying to hold it so you can see it, the last little end that's not closed, we're going to pull it in, and we're going to close that so that we're connected. Okay, it's connected there. Now we have to work on the other end. The other end is pretty easy. It's a ring and our clasp. But before we do that, we have to put on our Father. So we're going to need some more chain, because this is our Father bead, and then that begins our 10 Hail Marys right there. So what we need is this little piece of chain right there. So I'm going to open this end. To where I can put some chain on. Now let's see how many links we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, get the chain again. And this time, to make it easier, I'm going to go ahead and connect it onto the bead. Close it. Like this. And we're going to cut number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cut number 6. Now we need to put on our ring. Now this ring is, I already put the, well, no I didn't. I need to put the lobster claw on it, and I also need to put the chain on it. Now this is like a key ring, goes around and around. So these are lots of fun to work with. They got a spring to them. I open it with my fingernail, thumbnail, and if you're not careful, it'll take off across the room. I've got them all over the living room. The vacuum cleaner just loves them. Okay, so we're going to put our chain on. And while we're at it, before we go very far, we're going to put our lobster claw on too. See? That way, when I go round and round, we got both of them going. Around goes the chain, and around goes the lobster claw. It does look like a lobster claw the way they made that. That's pretty cool. Whoever come up with that was pretty smart. Now the thing is, the chain opening is pretty small, so it doesn't like to go very far. Sometimes this won't work. Let me see if this will work. Nope. It doesn't like it. There we go. Scoots around it. Sometimes it's like, whoa, I don't fit with 2 of those, but I got it. Got it on. Now, pull the lobster claw back like that. There you got a bracelet. New one. All done. I like that. You like that? Okay. Now the other style is called the toggle. And we can make that one too if y'all like. We use crimp beads and we use beadalon. Beadalon is a wire, and there's different gauges and there's different colors. I usually use silver because silver matches things, and it doesn't always show, maybe just on the ends, but I want it to coordinate with my stuff, and so I think, well, we'll just go with silver because I use the nickel on nearly everything. So this has a little protector plastic thing that holds it on there so it doesn't go everywhere. So we're going to cut some of this wire. And because it's not real expensive, you can cut more than you need, because it's always better to have too much than too little, because then you have to start over if you have too little. And you will need, if you're making about a 7.5 to 8 inch size bracelet, you're going to need a little bit more because you're going to double back. Let's use this as a sample. Now this is an 8-inch bracelet. Let's see. So it being an 8-inch finished length, now that's from toggle to hoop. It's, oh, this one's 8.5. Okay. So it's really a little too long, but people have different size wrists. You got to keep that in mind. And the best thing to do is to measure your wrist and then put at least 2 fingers underneath like this, because you want it to have slack. So when I put this one on, it's a little bit too big on me. As you can see, I can put probably 4 fingers under there. And see, it kind of wants to come off real easy. So 8.5 is too big for me, but it might not be for someone else. This one that we just made is a finished length of right at 8 from the opening of the claw to the ring. It's almost exactly 8, not a little bit shy. Now let's see how that one fits me versus the 8.5. Yep, I didn't get it to pull the claw back a little bit more. Yeah, there. Now, I can get 2 fingers under there, but 3 is a little bit, well, I got 3 under there. I see how it does on my wrist. Well, that's about right. So I guess 3 fingers, 2 to 3 fingers. And that's about right, because I don't want it going down off of my hand, but I want to be able to hook it. Yeah, it's a little tricky hooking it by yourself, but this claw is pretty easy to work with. Okay, so if I was to make this one a toggle, I would take the wire and measure 8 inches. Okay. Lay that down. And then we're going to add, because on a toggle you have to have some to work with when you're putting your crimp bead on. Boy, I'm all thumbs tonight. Okay, so this is where your crimp bead is, right there. And on the other end. So you got 2 crimp beads. One there and one right there. And what that does, let's see, James, let me get it turned the right way. Okay, you can kind of see it there. It's a, you don't see much of it, but you see enough to know that's where the connection is. And it's got to go through the bead and come back out, and then you cut it. So we want to have about 2 more inches just so you have enough to work with. So if it's an 8-inch rosary, you need at least 10 inches of wire. Like I said, it's better to have too much than not enough. Now, first thing we're going to do is get one of these beads out. And I have a little tricky time doing this without them going all over the place. But I like to keep it in this little thing because I don't like them going all over the place. Now, they have a little protective thing in there, but they like to, static electricity likes to keep them on top of that little sliding door. Zoop, there they go, trying to jump out. Get back in there, guys. And put your little door back on, because we're going to need one more of you later. Okay, so we're going to put the bead on the wire. Now we're going to put our toggle in on. And after you get it on, you're going to turn the wire around and go through the bead again. And this is kind of hard to show you, but you made a loop around that toggle. And you put the bead over. And you want it to swing a little bit, but not a huge amount. Just don't want a big gap there. Now this tool here clamps it. It's a crimp tool. That's what it's called. And you put it in, kind of like a masher, and you mash it down, and it flattens it. Now as you can see, there's a little excess sticking out, and we don't want that, because there's two options. You can either put your beads over it, or you can cut it off. And I just like to cut it off, because sometimes even when you put your beads over it, it still comes. If your beads aren't tight, it'll come out of there. It'll poke you. And it's not very comfortable. So we're just going to get this as snug as we can. And cut that off. As close as we can. Now, this one has spacers. And they're little bitty beads. These are your check glass here. And these are spacers. And we have two options tonight. I don't know who's watching, but if you have a preference, we can do two different things. We can make a Aurora Borealis Aqua with the Aurora Borealis sheen with matching spacers in crystal, or we can do the same beads that we used on the chain one, the same thing, which are not Aurora Borealis. They're just solid. Well, they're crystal. They're check glass crystal, but they're not. They don't have that rainbow sheen. And with those, we could use the solid clear. Which look real nice with it. They're just clear.
Okay, I'm not getting any feedback, so whatever you want to do.
Whatever I want to do. Okay. Well, let's see. I feel mischievous. I think I'm going to go with Aurora Borealis. Okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Are you Aurora Borealis? Let's see what we got over here. That's a solid. So that must be one. You know what? Sometimes it's hard to tell without the sun. When you don't have the sun.
Oh, Aurora Borealis?
These are right here, aren't they?
Yeah, I can see that.
But what about him?
Doesn't look like it.
It doesn't look like it, does it?
No,
I have to have 11. 3, 6, 9, 10. Thought I had 11. But that one doesn't look like it, does it?
No.
Well, you know what that means? We don't have enough.
So what do you want to do?
Well, I think what we're going to do is the solid. Because we can't have one odd one.
No.
Okay. All right, we'll put you back in the bowl. And this too. And we'll just stick with these. Because we know we have enough of them. So. We have to have 11. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You know, Aqua does come in different shades. We were looking at these beads tonight, and these are 6mm here. And they look pretty close to these, but I think they're just a shade off. And then I ordered another batch, and look at those. Those are greener, whereas these to me are bluer. I don't know. They're just not the same color. So it's not like paint. Every time you order some paint, you better get enough, and not run out. So we're gonna use those right there. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is put on our spacers. And here we go. The spacers are just that. They space the beads out. So we want, let's do, we don't want it as big as this one. And that one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That one has 10. So let's do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This goes pretty fast once you get all your stuff together. Now we're going to put Our Father on. Oh, I'm going to put a Hail Mary on because we're going to do it just like this one. We'll put the Our Father down here on this other end. So that's the Hail Mary. Then we need to space. So we're going to put 3. That way they can feel the beads when they're praying with it. A little space there. Because we don't have chain, we have spacers. There's another Hail Mary. I'm going to put 3. I'm glad you're manning the camera because I'm trying to aim this in the right place, and I want them to be able to see what I'm doing. So now we got 3.
Well, you know, tonight was full of difficulties. First Gab had issues. I noticed many others also having issues. So I think it's a site-wide issue with live streaming on Gab. And so then we had to set up our alternate, which was YouTube, which I already had an account, but we had to still configure and set up that stream. So, we started about 25 minutes late, but, in my opinion, I did the best I could. And,
Let's see how many we got here. We've got 5.
We'll have to see, how this goes and all.
These spacers are bigger than these spacers. So I don't know how this is gonna, but we're gonna see how it looks. And if it doesn't look right, the nice thing is I can take it all off. So there's 5. This is a different size bead. This is a larger bead. See, normally I use smaller seed beads, but these are all check crystal here, every bit of it. And the seed beads are littler. They look like this. Those are seed beads, and we're not using those. So we're going to see how this turns out. This is kind of an experiment, because I think I've done this before, but been a while. Because I've tried different kind of beads, and one of them I had was silver looking, kind of like this one. And it just, to me, it looks discolored. It looks like tarnished, and it's not. It's just, I don't know. Anyways, I like it plain looking. So we're gonna try this. See how it does. Okay, I've got 6 on there. I think it's gonna be all right. But like I said, if it's not, we'll just take it all off and redo it. So we're rolling now. We got YouTube, huh?
Yes, in fact, I already informed some of our friends. I have one more person to inform. YouTube was just the easiest thing in the shortest possible amount of time that I could get together. But, live streaming is a very sensitive thing. And,
it is a sensitive thing.
This is our first week, so we're just...
This is our first time on YouTube, too.
Yes,
What an experiment. We're just doing all kinds of new things tonight. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here's number 10. And then we have to put our Father bead on, and our Mary, and our little cross, crucifix. I think this is going to be really pretty when we're done. I think I'm going to make some more of these in different colors.
Awesome.
This is a birthstone for March. This is the check glass bead of Aqua, which is March's birthstone. And I think it's going to just turn out just right. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we need a bigger gap. This is where we're going to put our Father bead, so we need a bigger gap. So we have been doing 3, so we're going to do more than 3 here, so that when you're praying with it, if you're just feeling with it instead of looking, you can feel the difference and the distance, and you go, oh, I did 10. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, I'll do a few more. 6. Now, on this one, what we did was we put the Mary there, and then the crucifix there. So we're going to go ahead and put the medal, the miraculous medal on. And put there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put a few more. 7. 7 looks like that, right? Now we're going to put the Our Father on. Now we need some more beads. 2. And put the cross on. We want it to hang the same direction. Like she faces this way, we want him to face this way too. So we'll put it on this way. Now we're going to measure. What are we looking at? Okay. This is way too long. It's almost at 9. And that's too big. Let's see. Yep. I overshot it. So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take out one on each one of these. Between. Alright. Like I said, when you're not happy, you just pull them off. And okay, gotta do 2. Not a problem. This is an easy fix. Now, I knew there was a bigger gap there than this other one because these beads are much bigger. But it'll sneak up on you because it's in small increments. It's just when it's all added together, it's just a whole lot of increments, so all into one. Right. That's 4. Let's see what 4 looks like. This might work. We're going to find out. If it doesn't, what we can do is either go down to 1, or we can use those seed beads instead of these crystals. Because these crystals are bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just really like this check glass. I think this is like a high quality look. It has such a pretty sheen. It's faceted, so it catches the light, especially in the sunshine. We're working this at night, so you can't see the full brilliance of it. But it really is pretty in the sun. All the different colors. They make it in all the different birthstone colors. And clear. And the Aurora Borealis crystal, which is absolutely stunning.
Janya's here.
Oh, wonderful. I'm so glad.
Yeah, I thought she'd want to
Yeah.
see.
1,
But
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Let's put another one on. And we're going to put Mary on now. Our little miraculous medal. And let's see what our distance is now. How long is it? It's 7. It's a little bit longer than I wanted because I still have to add but we're going to go ahead and try this. We're going to go ahead and try this. Let's see. We have to put our Father on, and so we're going to put one more spacer, and here's our Father bead, and now we need another spacer.
Jania's gonna try to get back later.
Yes,
She has something going on, but she'll try to get back
yeah,
later.
she's a busy lady. I'm not surprised at all. Yeah, she's a busy lady. Alright, so that's 7.5 right there. And we need to add our end. And let's make sure we've got the right deal. Does it go through? Yes. I had a little glitch earlier. These things come in different styles. And I put them all in one bucket. And this is a different style. It fits on that one. But it does not fit on this one. This ring is too little. So this poor bracelet's going to have to be taken apart because I have the wrong peg on the ring. I thought they were all the same, but they're not. It's my fault. I should have paid attention. Okay, so now we're going to put this on. Wait, no, we're not. You know what we're going to do? We have to get this little crazy guy out of here. Here we go. Hope we don't have a lot of static electricity. We only need one. And, oh, good. Now, as long as I don't tip this over, one little crimp bead is all we need. Put the door back on and shut them back up in there so I don't lose anybody. And on to the wire it goes. And we put this on. And now we got to go through the bead. And before we clamp her down, we're going to try it. And yes, and I can put 2 fingers, almost 3 fingers under there. So that's about right. I don't want it falling off my wrist, and I don't want it too tight. So now we're going to crimp it down with our crimp tool. Like so. And we're going to pull this away like that. See, I have a little bit of slack in there so I can cut. So we're going to cut it as close as we can. Ta-da! We have a toggle bracelet.
Okay.
All right. James.
I'm going to put the documentation camera.
The what?
The documentation camera.
Okay.
But it seems to be a little bit out of focus.
A little out of focus, so we need to move it.
Let's find out.
Which way?
Um,
This way? No.
yeah,
Move the tray. Let's move the tray over. Okay. Now that one is brand new, and we haven't made any other ones, so you'll have to give us a little chance.
I think I know mine. Never mind. I'll just zoom in on the other.
Okay, use the other one.
Tonight's been a dysfunctional night.
Okay.
Alright, so there we go. Okay.
Got it? It's a little blurry, isn't it? Or is it my glasses?
Oh, that's fine. No, I'm gonna hide that again. That's what we're seeing. So, there we go.
That's kind of bright, isn't it?
Okay. So, now I don't know what do you want to do? And we can do whatever we want. So do you want to end the stream, or it's 8:19?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
So we're going to say goodnight,
Good night.
and
I
we'll
guess our prayer.
this end with Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Good night.
Okay.